Look at this. This used to be a cheap plastic tripod. You know how I like to use cheap plastic stuff. I've always used cheap plastic or aluminum tripods with plastic heads, and people say, oh, it's garbage. But they're so lightweight, and you know, I like to travel light, and of course, eventually they break. And then you think, oh, that was just landfill, it's garbage, it's useless. I don't throw anything out. I reuse stuff. So this is what I'm showing us. These things, when they eventually break, the coolest part is actually this right here. This cheap plastic head is the part that is so cool. Like here, the legs this broke off, and I still have this. But this is the coolest part. I'll show you how I'm going to use this for a million different. Here's another one here that I did. What I did with this one, this is kind of cool. Very slick. See that word slick in there? So I like this. This is it's got the 1/4 and it's adjustable and all that. What I did is I took this rod off. Some of these you can pull them out or yank them out or something. I did. And then I took a 5/8 inch aluminum tube, which is the standard thickness for baby pins and things for in the grip world, because they fit perfectly into grip equipment. So you can see where this is going now. Or even like things that have to do with light stands, it fits in perfectly. So you could use these, but I'm going to show you so many uses. And also when what is this? These are stands for selfie. These are selfie stick stands for for doing selfies for small cameras and cell phones. And when they break, you end up with this. And so what you have is basically a rod with an adjustable head on there of some kind. And some of these, like this one here, goes longer and shorter. So you actually have a selfie stick with an adjustable head on there with a 1/4 and no more legs, which makes it easier to use as a selfie stick. How cool is that? All right, so that's pretty self-explanatory. Also, light stands eventually break, and you end up with something like this, which is also extendable, which you can use for so many things. I'll show you that in a minute too. So let's start with my favorite thing here. Like, let's say this thing here. Let's say this broke off. Now, the coolest thing here is that you have a quick release on here. And the quick release is what you attach your camera to. All right, so here it is attached to there, and you can, of course, adjust it accordingly. And you get a grip head, put that in there, and then put the grip head on a light stand. So now you have a boom arm that you could have off at any distance you want, and then you can adjust this for overhead shots or weird angles. You could turn it so it's like, you know, different angles like that. Or you could take, because it's a quick release, you take this out and put it in this way. So now you could make the camera go like this. So you can turn it in really cool ways. So many different ways you could use this, from a broken head that has a quick release on it. That's really cool. Now, like I said about this one, I took off the whole shaft itself and put on a 5/8 inch aluminum rod, which you can make any length you want. I like the short one. The reason I like the short one is because this is my now there's so many things you can do. For example, here's a clamp. So you attach your camera to this little gizmo device, and you put that in your thing right here, like this, your clamp. Let's say you want to attach a camera, a light, a microphone, anything up high. Let's say this cabinet here, bam, look at that, it's already done. And let's say you want to mount the camera down low, like that, or at an angle, like clamp it into place. And look at this, look how you can move it in whatever position you want. Look how cool that is. You can put a light, a microphone, a camera, anything, and it clamps really good. So that. Let's say you want to mount something to a wall. This is a standard grip 5/8 inch baby pin female, and then you take your device here, you clamp it into place like that, and then you drill it into the wall with your drywall screws, and then you can mount this. You can put this camera like this, however you want. Look at how great that is. So this is so helpful to have a 5/8 inch aluminum rod just epoxied into an old cheap plastic head from a cheap throwaway tripod that people think is useless. I'm going to take this broken selfie stick thing without the tripod legs. All right, so here we have a camcorder attached to it. And let's say you don't want to use a big bulky grip head, which is just big and bulky. There's another grip device that is meant for square rails, but you don't need to use something square, just anything that's long and thin that you can put into a light stand here. And then you take this device like this, and let's do it this way. You tighten it in like this. So you could obviously put this in any position you want. But the cool thing with this is actually an extending rod. So you could extend this out quite a ways to do your overhead stuff. And then you could put this at any angle you want. Like that. Put it into place. And you can put, again, as short or long as you want. Another part that people throw out that they think is useless. It's not useless. This is where the fun part begins. Once the bulky tripod legs are gone, you've got something that's really useful. Here's another device that is kind of cool. It's just a lightweight plastic bracket from Dracast. Really lightweight, weighs nothing, really portable. I like to use these for mounting things to things. So you stick it onto your stand, and then you take, here we go. We can take this thing again and stick that in there. 5/8 inch goes in there like that. And now you can put this at any angle you want. So useful. You can like turn it like that. Turn this way. Lock it into place. Then you turn this one any angle you want. Look how useful that is. You know, people think, oh, it's broken, I'm going to throw it out. It's landfill. What cheap plastic crap from China. I love cheap plastic crap from China. It's so useful in so many ways. The life never ends of these things. The smaller the parts get, there's still use for them. And of course, light stands, when they break, you've got another extending rod. You can put all kinds of stuff. You can put this on the end of that. And then put this on that. It's like an erector set for kids, but we're not kids, we're adults. And we're still having fun with this kind of stuff. So the fun never ends, at least in my world. So hopefully I can inspire you to not throw stuff out and find so many endless uses for this stuff. So if your cheap plastic tripod breaks, don't be sad, celebrate. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.